Welcome back to another lesson with me, Mr. B. Today, I'm going to be overviewing the framework for how our lessons will look as you read through Angie Thomas's The Hate U Give. So over on Google Classroom, you'll find chapters labeled like this, where it has the lesson number and chapter number. So lesson 7, chapters 2 through 3, lesson 8, chapters 4 through 5. These first few lessons will be guided practice, or as some teachers like to call it, a gradual release of responsibility. This idea is that the responsibility of the learning transfers from me, the teacher, to you, the student. In this case, you will eventually have less guided reading and writing assignments where I check it, and it will be more on you to make sure that you're keeping up with the chapters and your annotations. Each of these first few lessons will ask questions such as, how is systemic racism shown in the book? And who is it perpetuated by? Where do you see the 4 eyes of oppression present in the story? Do you think that there is power in Star's voice? When does she struggle to use it? These first few lessons will have student examples to give you an idea of what to expect for full credit. Like it says over here on Google Classroom, the minimum for this kind of must-do aspect of the assignment is to have at least 1 concrete detail supporting your response and 2 sentences of commentary or analysis explaining why you think this piece of evidence is important, particularly to the question that you're being asked about. For example, this question up here, how is systemic racism shown in the book and who is it perpetuated by? If you align this with your literary analysis organizer, you'll actually notice that prompt number 2 is related to the eyes of oppression. So this is a lot of practice for you to get used to sharing your ideas and putting them together in a logical explanation and your way of thinking. So let's take a look at a student example. So for lesson 6, I'll provide a screenshot of this in the assignment. The question again is, how is systemic racism shown in the book and who is it perpetuated by? How is oppression present and how is it perpetuated? So if you don't recall what it means to perpetuate from one of the Newsella articles, it means to make something, typically like an undesirable situation or an unfounded belief, continue indefinitely. If that didn't make sense, it basically means who or what is perpetuating or continuing to demonstrate aspects of systemic racism or oppression in the book. So we kind of see where the student addresses systemic racism right at the beginning, and they also address institutional oppression couple sentences down, maybe like half a paragraph later, where they explain how they can see institutional oppression perpetuated by powerful white people and other racist people who run the way our society and the system itself work. But again, it's not until about a paragraph's worth of words or sentences do they ever present their analysis, which follows about 2 sentences after, I believe, right over here. If I had any feedback for this student, it would be to make their points more concise and direct. Just make it to the point, because their analysis, again, isn't presented until like a paragraph later. And though this student got full marks on this assignment, if I were to grade it now, they would probably still earn an A, but my biggest feedback would be use less words and make your point clearer. So while they have an abundance of analysis and why this evidence supports their response to the question, I want you to keep in mind to practice your writing skills. Try to use less words, getting your point across in less, but an impactful amount of words. As you're writing, you can reference your annotations to complement your work. Use your literary analysis to your advantage. I hope this was a good review of how we will approach reading, analysis, and writing in this unit. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.